you ready? Are you one?
I'm Liane. I'm Liane. I'm Liane. Are you ready to ride the frequency? Are you ready to ride the frequency? To ride the frequency?
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome, Lady Liane. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I know I look a little maybe tired. That's okay. I'm actually ready to go back to sleep. Oh. I just started casting this on my TV in my bedroom so that my birds can like pretend that they're with me. As soon as the theme song went off, they went off. It's really funny. They're in there just freaking out because there's mommy. It's like I'm faking out my birds. It's messed up. Oh, man. Hi, Diva. Hi, Licky. Hi, Stokey. Hi, Unsi. How you doing? You made it to the show. A little shout out to my birds. I know, and I can hear the delay. What they shut up as soon as I started saying their names. They got quiet.
That's funny.
She only says our names when we're in trouble. Uh-oh. And now they're whistling again. That's funny. Well, yeah, man, it's been a little bit of a week, you know. How was your week? Let's ask you about you first.
Busy like always. Still haven't got everything unpacked. We're dragging our feet. So, yeah, it's like, oof, terrible.
Hey, Michelle. That's okay. You know what? Sometimes it's better to drag your feet and do it properly than it is to, you know, like just do it all slapdash, as my father-in-law would have said. Do all slapdash. Like, yeah, no, it's not what we're doing.
Right.
What's the weather like in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon today, Michelle? Hi, honey.
I know it's warm here. Hey, Michelle.
It's nice here today. I mean, it's not nice. It's kind of overcast. And it's cool. Any day that's not 90 degrees and muggy is a nice day to me.
She said 75 there.
Exactly. Here, let me ask the idiot.
It's 84 here.
What's the weather outside? 67 degrees, and it's going to go down to 61 tonight. That's good. I love having cool wind blowing in from the fan or not having to use it at all because maybe, you know, the wind is happening a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So there's nothing new with you, really? Should we go down? There's no
nothing really. Just trying to get settled in down here in Memphis. So.
Okay. Well, I did my first big girl thing up here in New York. Kombucha does that to me. Sorry. Why they call me Lady Liane. I optioned spider seeds from David. I did it. I signed the paperwork. I sent him 1% of the final chunk that's to be paid on the first day of principal photography, which we're aiming for, I think, is it next July? I have to look. I have to go look. Yep. So there you go. And now I have to, I've attached a director, but I can't announce who it is yet because they have to tell their manager, because that's not how we find things out. We don't find things out. Like my client just accepted a job and I had no idea what the was going on because Facebook is no. So I got to sit on that. So hopefully on my birthday, I'll be able to announce. So my present to myself is making it real in real life on a screen, streaming virtually.
Right.
That made sense in 2025. It did. So there you go. Streaming from my mouth to your ears through your eyes on the YouTube. So that's good. That was good. Then I had to go to court, which was, I don't know. I made it less stressful than I would have 10 years ago. I definitely wasn't as successful as making it like a kindergarten field trip like the first time around. It was a little more stressful this time. However, continued till August 20th, which is good. And then, I almost want to send you a video. Like, because when you come home from court, and part of the reason you're there is the habitability issues that you're enduring. When water comes out of the faucet, the color of that here. See this? Bathing water and kitchen water shouldn't be like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Welcome to New York. It's been pooping for ya.
That's pretty bad.
It is. It's not great, So the idea that I've had to run water for 45 minutes and then have it come out brown, like I've got videos, which I'm happy to make public because that only gives me more strong. The more I document it, the further out into the world it goes in permanence, the less off the record stuff can happen. Tired of that. There are a lot of things that have been said off the record about the management company who literally terrorized my mom. I'll go as far as calling it institutional elder abuse, and one of the things in the lease says that we're supposed to be able to, like, peaceful enjoyment of your space. Well, this particular property management company and this particular individual went out of their way to blatantly cause deliberate emotional distress on a 90-something-year-old who was starting to lose it. That's elder abuse to me, which in my world is a breach of the contract that they are the authors of. So you author a contract and you breach it, the one on the other end, because I didn't have anything to do with writing that contract. So I'm not in breach.
Right.
When you breach a contract, usually in law, when a contract is breached, it becomes nullified. So in my head, if he's destroyed the peaceful enjoyment of 2 generations of women in an apartment trying to just mind their own business and live quietly, like, that's a breach of contract over and over and over. And every time my mom had an issue, she went right to the assemblywomen. So they've got at least, I don't know, gigabytes worth of documents that I'm sure they'd be happy to dump on the court when it's time. So, I'm not really too worried about this. It'll be fun to watch. And whatever happens to me is for me, not to me. So, superstar. You can't touch me. Ha 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 ha. Whatever.
Maria says she lives in a difficult relationship. I'm sorry, Maria.
I'm sorry.
And she is from Newfoundland or something. She's a new viewer.
Oh, are you asking me how I think it'll go? Well, for me, everything's energy and frequency, and it'll go the way it needs to go for whatever lessons both of you need to learn. at this time. And that's a very general thing. But, the more you check in with your higher self, the more you'll know exactly,
Right.
So I'm throwing you right back at yourself, Miss Maria. Not to be dismissive. I'm not trying to be dismissive, but I'll tell you, the one thing I keep saying, and the one thing that was said to me, is your energy field is no further, it's right here. It's about 5 feet out in any direction at any given time. And any information you want is in your field. You just have to stop focusing on the material stuff and all this ego stuff long enough to get into the subtle, quiet energies, just get into that black space of the nothing. We are all our own 0 point. Yeah. We're our own point of creation. We create our worlds. How we choose to relate to reality, such as it is, subjective and unique, depending on who is throwing their projections out and what they are receiving back. The big myth is that you're not in control, when you're really always in control. You just have to be aware of what's going on subliminally, and the only way to find out what's going on subliminally is to tune out who's bombing who, what's going on, how many people have been shot, it's a racket. As soon as they have your time and they have your energy and they have your attention, that's hours of time you're never going to get back, where you could have been creating something beautiful. But no, we're watching the show. What happens when nobody shows up and nobody turns that television on? What happens to the show? Does it cease to exist? It falls on deaf ears? The people writing the script have no audience? What are they going to do? Get the lotion out. Start wanking.
Right.
So it'll go however you make it go, Maria. And if you don't choose to make it go a certain way, it'll take you whichever way it wants to. It's neutral. It doesn't care. The universe doesn't care.
Right.
You're the only one who cares how it goes. So whatever you put in will come back. If you put drama in, your relationship will be dramatic. If you put Zen peace vibes into it and don't buy into or pay attention to anything else, it'll be a Zen peace vibe relationship. It's all up to you, girl. And then of course you don't control other people. So if you're transmitting whatever frequency and he receives it in his unique way, and that's not in flow with how you go, that's going to be trouble, because you'll be like two tops bouncing off of each other. But then it's your responsibility to recognize that and get the out. Or, like I said, it's all up to you, because reality is subjective and unique. Cheers.
I agree with you. She's telling you that he lives with her and he won't move out. So,
do you want him to move out? Maybe you need to move out. Do you want to take action? Non-action is also an action. Forget about what he is. What are you? Narcissists can't step on you if you're not a doormat. What position have you put yourself in? You're accountable for that, not him. So if you want to be in relationship with a narcissist, you can expect whatever happens when you're in relationship with a narcissist. Don't ask me. You already know. I think, and that's the thing. You ask people so that you can maybe hear something you want to hear and not deal with what you already know. You already know what it's going to be like, is my answer. It sounds a little aggressive and not very compassionate, but I feel like you already know how it's going to go. And you're asking us because you really don't want to deal with that. But I think it's going to deal with you if you don't deal with that. That's what I think.
right.
Narcissist. Bye. See ya. Unless you enjoy being gaslit and terrorized in your own home. I don't, which is why I'm going to make the property manager pay me lots of money. Because you don't get to do that to me in my home and then have me pay rent. I don't pay rent for that.
Right. It's the truth.
Right. Just say no, babe.
Maria says they have been together for 9 years.
I've been together with my husband for 25 years, but that doesn't mean it's healthy. Bye. So what?
She says I've cried so many tears.
That's a choice. Well, then you enjoy being in crying modality. I mean, this is like you're a tea bag in some water and you refuse to take yourself out. Like, then of course you're going to keep crying tears till you remove yourself from the situation. Like, again, it's all up to you. So this is a choice. You know, like Eckhart Tolle says, most people, like, they don't understand 99% of your problems are self-created by the way you're choosing to look at things, by the way you're choosing to relate to things. If you don't want to remove yourself, then what makes you feel like you don't deserve better? That's what you need to look at. Until you feel truly like you deserve better and you love Maria, you're going to keep finding narcissists because it's a subconscious attraction thing. Stop it.
Right.
Sorry.
Absolutely. It's the truth.
You know, I don't have any skin in the game. I have no reason to be telling you anything that's going to make you feel better. I'm not here to make people feel better.
Maria says he keeps telling me I'm ugly. An ugly bee. Watches nude models, watch nude women online.
But it's not about him. It's about you putting up with it. It has nothing to do with what he does. It has everything to do with what you're accepting. It's you, not him at this point. Because if you recognize it and you're staying there, then you like complaining. You like having something to complain about. That's all I'm saying right now. You're addicted to feeling shitty. I would change my addiction pretty quickly.
Right.
I can't help you. You got to help yourself. Sorry, dude. Seriously. As soon as you got one finger pointing at him and whatever it is he's doing, you're not paying attention to what it is inside you that attracts that kind of person. That's your responsibility. What he's doing to you is just a story.
Maria says, Lady Liane, you make it sound so easy.
Well, you know, it's a choice. Again, it's a choice. You have to be courageous and you have to take action. If you want something to change, you have to change. He's not going to change. You have to change. You know, it's not fun and it's not easy. I didn't say it was easy and I didn't say it was fun. You know, looking at yourself sucks most of the time. But at the end of walking through a dark hallway of looking at your own shit, there's definitely, you know, clear water when you get out of your own diarrhea. Words of wisdom by Lady Liane. You know, I don't know, honey.
Oh, it is. It's a terrible position to be in, by all means.
Right. But like ultimately, if you don't choose to leave, then you're putting yourself in that position every morning you wake up in the same place. I'd rather go to a shelter and make new friends. Like, the only thing you have to give anybody is your authentic self. And if somebody doesn't appreciate you for who you are and you stay, then you don't appreciate you for who you are because he's just mirroring how you feel about yourself. That's what I know. Like, I don't have, you know, you want to ask me questions and you don't want to figure it out for yourself. You want me to do it for you. I'll give you guerrilla therapy.
Do I get a free banana?
Only if you wash the mud off your potato, monkey guy. Monkey boo. Monkey boy. Free banana. You can get an organ and I can grind it. Oh, not that kind of show. So yeah, you know, go look up some Joe Dispenza self or guided meditation.
That'd be good.
That would help, maybe. Go listen to Eckhart Tolle. Find Eckhart Tolle. This is my homework for you, Maria. Go listen to Eckhart Tolle. Go listen to Joe Dispenza. Abraham Hicks is a good one. That's where I started. Meditating, tuning out reality, Looking into the dark, nothing.
Roger says he likes bananas.
Yeah. How big, Roger? How big do you like your banana? So my mom's friend Eric Betty. You bet your sweet bippies I like bananas. Bananas. Bananas, not bananas. Bananas.
Michelle comes in and says, Lady Ann, it's not easy, but where's your sanity, Maria?
Exactly. Like what at what costs? Like how much is it gonna you how much are you going to spend on this guy energetically if what you get back is garbage? Like what are you doing? It's like buying McDonald's and expecting to be healthy if you eat McDonald's all day. That's not gonna happen. It's like so it's a form of masochism to stay in a relationship. Being addicted to feeling hopeless. It's all, Joe Dispenza. It's true. Like your emotion. There are chemicals in your emotional area, your thoughts and your emotions. It creates chemicals in your body. And if you're used to being treated a certain way for an ongoing long period of time, your body then becomes accustomed to these chemicals flowing. So as soon as you do something different, your ego and your subconscious and all that, it's going to start kicking like a bucking bronco going, no, this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. But you have to ride that out, like, and just say no. It's like drugs.
Roger says, Lady Liane, I like a bunch of bananas with ice cream.
What about whipped cream? And I was thinking about making banana pudding, but the bananas were missing from my order. The Jeff Bezos, he messed up. I got to call Jeff. Tell him he messed up his banana delivery. They were missing. It's the case of the missing banana in the Big Apple. See how I did that?
You want to hear something funny?
I always want to hear something funny. I am something funny.
I'm laying in bed, and Mary comes in the other night and goes, you ain't going to believe what I just saw in the kitchen. And I said, what? She said, a squirrel ran across the floor. And I'm like, Mary, a squirrel? She said, yeah, it was big as a squirrel. It had a big fluffy tail and everything.
Well, if it had a fluffy tail, it wasn't a possum and it wasn't a rat. If the tail was fluffy. So
then in the middle of the night, the other night, she had a bag of, I don't know what it was. It was empty. It's on the floor. And we're dead sleeping, and it starts moving around. And then she was like, I think we got a ghost.
Do you have a roommate that you didn't know about?
Yeah, we sure do.
Is it a squirrel?
Mouse. It's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Came in through the dryer vent wall because they don't have it covered over. So.
Yeah, the damn thing got stuck in the bag, and it was bouncing around in the bedroom on the floor.
So this bag of chips was just bouncing all over the place?
Yeah, on the floor, just running across the floor. She thought it was a ghost. I know, right, Roger? The squirrel got me. I'm like, what the hell? You see the squirrel in the kitchen?
Man.
She said it was big, and it was gray. And it ran.
It's probably a mouse that's like the size of the tip of your thumb. Mary. Eek, a mouse.
So, yeah.
No,
I know.
I would start feeding it. It'd be like Ben and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I tell you, it was funnier than hell because when she said she saw a squirrel, I was like, there ain't no way there's a squirrel 2:00 in the morning is going to run across the kitchen floor. She said it was big. She said it was this big, and it was gray and had a big bushy tail. And I was like, damn, that don't sound like a squirrel.
Maybe it had a what do you call it? Maybe it was dragging a Swiffer and it was trying to clean up after itself.
Then I would believe.
These rodentia, they're smart these days. You got to be to make it in 2025, I tell you.
Isn't that the truth?
Smart. You got to be smart. Otherwise, the world kicks you off and you go flying into the galaxy. And then what?
Right.
You know, I don't know that all this stuff is that big a mystery. I really don't. Like, it's been made to be a mystery, but it's not. I think it's easy to crack the code. I just don't know how to articulate succinctly. But I don't think it's as big a mystery as everybody thinks. I think that, again, it comes back to energy is everything. Oh, look, I just looked at my clock. I just got a notification. All day today, I saw 11:11, 1:11, and now this.
Yeah.
My phone just turned on. It was black. It didn't do anything. It just turned on at 5:55. Like, this is the kind of stuff that's been happening to me. It's been really freaky. You know? Call it a massive squirrel. Like, call it a bear, a Bigfoot. That's funny.
I was in stitches. I'm not going to lie.
You know, like if it had been a chipmunk, that would have been a happy compromise.
Right.
At least that's, I don't know, not as big as a squirrel, but, and not really a bushy tail, but they're sure cute. Big chipmunk.
Yeah, see, my dad's been trying to get his chipmunk for years. He don't know on this BB rifle he shoots at him with. I've been to sight.
No, I'm gonna shoot your dad with a BB next time I see.
Yeah, so every time he goes to shoot, he can't hit the chipmunk.
He should just make friends with it.
So they
He's
stir stuff up.
You're not gonna make friends with the chipmunk, is he?
Right. But it's funny though.
Well, so happy belated Father's Day to everybody out there. I haven't had a dad in 55 years. He died when I was 555. It's 555. It's time to say happy birthday today.
Hey, Amy.
That poor Amy just walked in on shooting chipmunks and you laughing at that. That's not cool, dude.
I said for the viewers just chiming in that he's been trying to shoot these chipmunks for years, and I've bent the sights on the BB rifle so you can't hit it. That's funny.
I think it's funny. Grizzly fixed it so the chipmunk wins every time.
Every time. And he gets so mad.
Well, you know, when you want to hurt little things and your kid knows it, then he fixes your gun. That's all. Yeah, okay, so back to what I was saying. Yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there.
That's right.
Whether you're acknowledged, whether you're acknowledged, whether you're not acknowledged, you know, you put somebody on the planet, whether you're aware of it or not. In some cases, not, but you know. And today also happens to be what would have been my dad's 99th birthday. So happy birthday to Jack Curtis, little guy. And that was my grandfather. I never got to meet him. He passed away. So, yeah. Happy Father's Day. That's my family. Those are my 3 babies. And I put that picture up because there's another picture of my family when I was a baby. Right there. So it's funny how when we went and took that picture with me and my 3 kids, I kind of took the same stance and almost even have the same look as my dad does. I'm just noticing that right now. That's kind of funny. Oh, makes me feel like we were a different kind of soul family at one time. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, so you can look up my dad. If any of you guys, that's Mabel Ford. That was my grandma. That was his mom. She was a big vaudeville star, she and her family. And my dad, if any of you guys ever watched a cartoon called Speed Racer when you were little, he did a bunch of voices on Speed Racer. He was the narrator, and he was Pops Racer and Inspector Detector. And then there were other cartoons that he worked on, like Marine Boy and was it Aquaman, I think, and Kimba the White Lion. Yeah. There's my dad. Hey, Pop. Go, Speed Racer, go. Exactly. That's right. That's right. He was a very handsome man. Some people say he looked like Tyrone Power. I see that a little bit in this photo. You know, he didn't really like working on camera. His dad was an agent, and his mom, like I said, was, hey, Candy, a vaudeville star. She was making like $2,500 a week back in 1924. If that tells you anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Like when I say star, I'm not kidding. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. They were a big deal. As far as that stuff goes. Yeah. You know, they can be. People just kind of take it for granted. What's funny is, like, I don't know if you guys watch the Super Bowl. I've mentioned this before, but I get this really weird call on or message on Instagram from this woman. Oh, there's my thigh. That was a picture of, I don't know how that got in there. Whoops.
I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you that what happened there. What's the next one? I'm scared. Don't. What's How did all of those go to you? That wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to end with my dad. Good God. That's from, okay, that's remote viewing. I remote viewed. That was the target. That was the target. Okay. I hope that's enough. That's all of that. Thank God. Okay, well, look, do you guys recognize who that is? Not on the left, in the red shirt. Right?
Now, who is it?
It's Michael Madsen.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Expand that. But I don't think he's going to be with us much longer. He's not. Look at that.
Yeah, he
He
sure
looks
is.
like John Ferreter was looking pasty and bloated like that at the end. It wasn't good. The guy on the left, that's Kevin. I love Kevin. Kevin Clement. He's the one that runs the Chiller Autograph Show. He's been doing it for, I think it's 35 years now. It's the 35th year anniversary. I'll be there this October. I'll have a table. It'll be great. We'll have a table, and, you know, if David sends me some books, maybe I'll even be selling some autographed spider seeds and Tale of the Telejanka, She Who Hunts, at my table in preparation for promoting the new film that will be somewhere in 2027. Ooh. Anyway, so yeah. So happy birthday, Dad. Happy 99th. You know, it's funny to think of like what he would have done. He made a movie called The Flesh Eaters back in the early 1960s. Oh, Jenny? Yeah. Oh, God, Virginia Madsen. Yeah. Was that probably before she started acting or before she hit? Yeah, exactly. Back when she still had a straight job to keep ends meeting. Yep. Well, there you go. I hope for your sake, Maria, that it is coming to an end. I just saw that. Not to be nasty about it, but really. Like, I don't know where you live, but that's the kind of guy I would like to go do bad things to and have you move out while he's at work. Like, that's the kind of thing I like to aid and abet. How's that? Because, you know, not that I like starting trouble, but sometimes the party calls for a drastic measure of sorts. So, you know.
Right.
I wish you peace. I wish you safety, and I wish you well. And I know you'll make the right choice for yourself and whatever's in your highest and best interests. Meditate on it. I'm sure the answer will come to you. You'll be moved to take an action. And if something prompts you to do it, don't question it. Just do it. Just listen to your gut feeling, because it's usually something tapping you on your shoulder saying, this is the window. It's open right now. go through it. You got to be aware of the subtle energies to be able to see the window open, right? You know, which brings me back to last week. What were we talking about? The fact that my boyfriend, Ross Coulthard, took me to contact in the desert through the storm. Which now the dead guy, John Ferreter, is going, what's wrong with you? I just set the table for you. What do you mean? You're not sure if you want to go on X and out yourself. That's the whole point. So I got to shove, like, I don't know if you guys saw the movie 16 Candles. I talked about this with my friend Stephen David Brooks today. As a matter of fact, like there's a scene where like at the dance and then there's this real nerd and he does not want to go and his two parents are shoving him in the door and he's got his heels dug in and he's like, no. And they shove him in and close the door behind. Like, I feel like that's what John Ferreter's doing to me right now. Right. So ultimately it ended in Bryce Zabel. Somebody made a nasty comment on, I think it was Twitter, and Bryce Zabel answered back like, well, we don't really care what you think, and we're inviting you to get off my thread if you don't like it. Bye. So that was my entrance. Like, hi, Bryce. Do you see these? You ever see these? Clearly you see these. Hi, it's me. The woman from South Australia via New York. So he invited me to email him, which I did. And I sent the original voice memo that I had sent Steven asking, like, am I crazy? And I sent him all of the screenshots of the Facebook Messenger typed messages that were going back and forth between Steven and me. And I took the message that I sent originally to Ross Coulthard and I put it as proof. Hi, it's me. This is the screenshot. It wasn't an email. It was a Facebook message. Like, and here it is for all to see. So I thought, okay, so here we go. Who knows what's going to happen next? Wouldn't it be funny if I got to talk to those guys if they came on and talked to me on the screen?
Right.
You know, once you're a packaging agent at William Morris, I don't think it ever leaves you. Even if you're not physically here anymore, he's still at it. Like, I mean, he was very ingrained in this world, you know, so it makes sense that he still didn't want to leave, still wants to make deals. And I feel like, I mean, I can see him, I can feel him right now. I feel like it's a challenge to himself to see who he can get to listen to him and hear him and who he can't. And like, if you can't hear him, it just makes him that much more, oh, really? Now I'm going to extra pester you. Like, it's just, he's kind of relentlessly, pathologically still trying to package stuff and make an impression, like a game. Yeah. I mean, not managing my life exactly, although when he does talk to me, the word that I hear the most come from John, when it's not don't be an idiot or something awful like that. I mean, he talks like a William Morris packaging agent does to his assistant, to his peon. Like, it's just, he's laughing. Like, I can see him smirking. I can't say that it's not real. I feel embarrassed and crazy saying this here live on the YouTube, but I can't help it, you know? So yeah, I mean, I suppose both of us could shut the door if we wanted to, but I'm fascinated by it and he's not hurting me. So like, there's no reason not to keep communicating. You know, you can close your brackets and not listen. You can choose to not listen. I feel like I've chosen not to listen because it's like a whole can of worms once you start listening and they all want your attention because they know, like, once you start listening, it's like you give off, it's like a pheromone you give off. Like, oh, she's got open brackets. Let's try to talk to her. Like, and then you just get pestered. So, you know, I think it's been an ongoing dance with me since I'm very, very young. You know, I had somebody do a reading once and tell me that I really need to always keep grounding and keep meditating. I start every day with a meditation because
Right.
right. And like I said, even last week, the next song that I'm writing, the title is called One Foot In. Like, what does that tell you? Not always one foot in the other realm. Like, but we all do. That's who we are. That's how we function. Like having it in the other realm consciously and knowing how to work that is the thing. Like, I'm more fascinated with trying to figure that out or have a mastery of my own energy and the biofeedback that I get from the field. That's so much more interesting to me. I was going to say than turning on the TV, but like, honestly, I'm so excited to watch last week's episode of Resident Alien. I like that show so much. Like, but aside from that, like making my own movie, like I'd rather understand all that than I would spend time listening to somebody else talk, watch somebody else's movie that they made that came through them from the field. Like, I want to pull things from the field and make my own. If I'm watching somebody else's, I'm not making my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lying about it or that he's just been programmed to the point where you're out of touch with that stuff. Or if maybe as a child he was very in touch with it and it freaked him out. And so now, as a self-defense mechanism, he shuts it out because it freaked him out once and he's never doing that again. You know, Tom Dongo did not like out-of-body experiences. When he left his body, that was all fine till he went falling back in, and he said it was physically painful to him and he didn't ever want to experience that again. So he purposely stays away from doing that. Me, like, I remember falling back into my body as a child, and it wasn't painful, but it was definitely jarring. Like, and I definitely, like, my face, my physical face, definitely, I felt like contact being made, and my body definitely jerked, you know, onto the bed. And I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if I'm making this up or not, because it's been such a long time since I've had a flying dream, like the kind when I was a kid. But I remember coming in, like being on my stomach. So if I left, it was through my back. A lot of people say that you go out through your back, you go out through your solar plexus, go out through the top of your head, you know. But going out through the back, because landing on your face, on your stomach, you would have had to have gone out on your back, right? Out of your back. I mean, in my intellectualization of it, which is the mistake.
Right.
Always trying to wrap your mind around it intellectually. I'm sure there's a way to satisfy the intellect and also understand that it's not an intellectual exercise. It's not. It's a solar plexus, heart, knowing, feeling exercise, and the thoughts that come with those. It's not thought first in this situation.
That's right.
It's just a beingness. It's just an isness that you allow the isness. You know, there's a guy, I don't know if I have the link to it. It's the TYA. His first name is David. This is embarrassing. I don't remember anybody's name. It's awful. The TYA. I'll find the meditation maybe, and I'll put it up in the information under the link on my Writing the Frequency under this live video. If I can find the meditation, I'll send it to you. Ever since I did that particular guided meditation where it takes you kind of off planet and then it plops you back, but like I never kind of came back. I stayed part. Like I can still feel where I went in that meditation, and I can still feel that I'm still observing from that place because it's a safe space. It felt safe, so I stayed, part of me.
Right.
You know, so that's back to that 1 foot in stuff. I wish the species weren't so belabored with all of the distractions so that it could just hunker down, so that we could rest from the bullshit and exercise different parts of our brain and open our minds and re-experience this differently.
Right.
That makes me really emotional, and I'm not sure what that's about. But I really feel for the species a lot. And I wish people could wake up. I looked at a photo of Nikola Tesla, like one of the last photos, I guess. It was definitely taken in his later life. And he's looking straight into the camera. And you can just feel everything. Sometimes it's good to feel everything. Sometimes it's good to close your brackets.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I wonder if there's a reality where Nikola Tesla got to do his thing and JP Morgan got to sit the fuck down. That would make me happy to know that that exists in some reality. So yeah, that's funny. It's Monday, June 16th, and it's now 6:16. It's not like I've been spending time looking at but happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday. I miss you.
Yeah, it's hard.
Who knows? Like, had he lived, it could have been really ugly, arguing between my mom and my dad. Like, who knows what would have happened? So sometimes, as traumatic as the reality you've chosen to experience feels, and the lessons that go along with that, and the things that you choose to do to experience whatever it is you need to fill your cup really full.
Right.
It's best that it's good that it happened this way. It's all everything's okay. I guess that's the message. Everything's okay. You just make your movie okay. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I feel like the only way to heal is to like look at it and feel it when it comes up. It's like there are days when I just get really weepy and I just miss my mama. And that's okay. And then remembering to just take it easy on myself. And what a gift it is to be able to feel. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the things they say is so fascinating about our species is our ability to go from angry to laughing to sad to like in a nanosecond. Speed of thought is quick. Thoughts affect your emotions, unless your emotions are affecting your thoughts, unless you're in a catch-22 with all that. And then here comes the rubber band ball. But yeah, I guess we'll just chalk all this up to my feeling very comfortable being vulnerable in public. Yep, that's right. Then go out there and go get it, girl. That's what I do. Started my own network, started a new show, have my own thing. Now Bryce Zabel's talking to me. Uh-oh. So just the option to book. I've got a writer director that I'm about to announce. What
That's
else?
awesome.
Like, I wasn't talking like this last October when we started this, was I?
Not at all.
Nope. I had no idea which way was up. But whatever. Just going with it. The ability to stay hunky dory in your feelings and just observe the things that are unpleasant without entangling with them and getting to the point where you find the absurdity in all of it makes you pretty bulletproof, but it's my own armor. It's not like somebody gave me armor and they saved me. It's like I've been making my own armor, and I choose when to put it down and I choose when to keep it up based on what's going on around me and what the party calls for.
Right.
We transmit and we receive, and part of having that as our basic makeup.
I got the bananas.
Oh my God. I wonder what would happen if I see this is with the ADHD, the derailed banana pudding with peeping pepper sauce, whipped cream, and sardines. Only if you're pregnant. Pickles and ice cream. No. Banana pudding. I have vanilla wafers. Don't tell RFK. He'd be horrified. That's what we're not supposed to be getting. No more vanilla wafers. Only kale. Kale-tastic. Although it's funny, it's having been on Snap, I do have to address that a little bit. There are things that are organic that aren't covered by Snap, but if I want to get liters of Mountain Dew, boy, they're paying for that. Like, why is that not banned, and why are the organic things not covered? Think about it. Are they really trying to keep it healthy? No. So when you hear him talk, the words he's saying kind of make sense. What do you mean I ain't allowed? Because I'm a Yankee? I make some damn good banana pudding, lady. If it were sturdy enough, I'd send you some. And then you'd be addicted.
Right.
I've been baking some crazy, man. Baking brioche strung with chocolate, brioche morning buns with cinnamon sugar on the top. I was on a baking extravaganza last Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, the day it was 90 degrees, that's when I choose to do that. But yeah, going back to my ADHD took us all over the place, but I wanted to go back to voice actors. Martin Scorsese used my dad's voice last year in the Super Bowl commercial. So if you guys go and look at the long version of Squarespace Green Martin Scorsese, you'll hear my dad's voice in that too. They lifted it from some movie he dubbed back in the 50s, late 50s or 60s. So yeah, voice actors are definitely underappreciated. However, voice actors do definitely become the solution for people in a pinch if they want real people, not this AI nonsense that they're trying to pimp. It's never going to be real. It's never going to be sentient. And it's its own kind of AI art. Okay, I can accept it. But it'll never be the real McCoy. And at some point when AI is everywhere, what will be the thing everybody wants is, wow, this AI is great, but nobody makes movies anymore. Oh, well, Liane will be making movies. And this will make the people who still make movies the thing that is valued, because AI will be so pedestrian, even in its sensationalism. It's like, at what point does sensationalism become boring and sentient, raw, and authentic become what's missing?
Right.
So it's okay. The worm will turn. I'm not concerned too much about that. There will always be an audience for sentient art, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, that was a good one. You guys, please go to Lee TV official network, Liane Curtis. Come listen to Randy and me ramble. It can be funny sometimes. This week, we're talking about the LA riots and how they have to escalate the show to keep the audience. And I think next week we're talking about AI, but I'll be going back to cutting promos. But please do follow. I don't know how to, without getting a horrible echo here. Maybe I can do it this way. We've got 5 minutes. Hey, Grizzly, you got any bills to pay? Anybody to say hello to or mention while I go looking for this link to
No,
send
you're
you?
good. We're all caught up. We're ready to rock and roll. I can't believe that hour went by that fast.
Always. Okay, let me. How do I do this? LinkedIn, share, copy the link, send it to my producer, Risley. If I get rid of all of the consonants, you turn into Reese. Ding! That was me. That's the link. Please subscribe. Please hit that bell. Please make lots of comments. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. One of these days when we bank enough talks, Randy and I will go live and do a Q&A. He's a very fascinating and fabulous, fine fellow. And I appreciate his kind attention. And he's the real deal, that Randy. So let's see what we can do. Okay, guys. You know what I'm going to say. Keep doing what? Ready? Keep right in the frequency. That's what he said. And remember, what are you? You're the awareness. Okay, bye.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm Liane. I'm Liane. Are you ready to ride the frequency? Are you ready to ride the frequency?